Welcome to Bristol, the Enigmatic City. Nestled in the southwest of England, Bristol stands out with its blend of historical richness and modern vibrancy. Known for its maritime history, the city harbors tales as deep and wide as the Avon River that meanders through it. The cityscape is a vibrant palette of colorful houses, graffiti-lined streets courtesy of the infamous Banksy, and bustling markets offering everything from handmade crafts to gourmet foods. The energy of Bristol is palpable as students, artists, and families mingle in its eclectic cultural scene. From the iconic Clifton Suspension Bridge to the historic SS Great Britain, Bristol is a fusion of the past and the present, where tradition meets innovation. The streets are alive with music ranging from jazz to electronic, and each corner offers a new visual or culinary delight. Yet, beneath this vibrant exterior, Bristol has its shadows. It is here, among the bustling crowds and historic alleys, that the mysterious disappearance of CLA Holland would unfold, sending ripples through the community and beyond. This case would not only challenge the local authorities, but would also capture the attention of the nation, unveiling a darker side of this seemingly peaceful city. Let's delve into the life and dreams of CLA Holland, a young woman whose life was as vibrant and promising as the city she called home. An aspiring artist, she was known for her abstract paintings, which often featured the very essence of Bristol's urban landscape. Her friends described her as a spirited individual, always ready to lend a hand or share a laugh, and deeply passionate about making a mark in the art world. However, CLA's journey was not without its struggles. Behind her cheerful exterior, she battled personal demons, including a turbulent relationship that she kept hidden from even her closest friends. Despite these challenges, she remained determined to pursue her dreams, often speaking about opening her own gallery in Bristol, where she could showcase not only her work, but also that of other local artists. Her disappearance came as a shock to those who knew her. She was last seen at a local art exhibition, her eyes alight with plans for the future. The sudden silence that followed her missing report was out of character, and friends and family quickly rallied, plastering the city with flyers and turning to social media in hopes of finding any clue that could lead to her whereabouts. The community's response was a testament to her impact on those around her, setting the stage for a high-profile investigation that would uncover more than anyone expected. The news of CLA Holland's disappearance spread rapidly across Bristol, stirring a community-wide concern. It was unlike CLA to disappear without a word. Her last known whereabouts were at a crowded local exhibition, surrounded by friends and admirers. When she failed to meet friends for a planned dinner later that evening, alarm bells rang, and a missing persons report was swiftly filed. The initial response from the local police was a mix of routine procedure and subtle urgency. They began by questioning those closest to CLA, tracing her last known movements, and searching her apartment. The scene at her home was puzzling. Her phone left charging, her purse on the table, and no sign of forced entry or struggle. It painted a picture of someone who had left temporarily, intending to return soon. Efforts to find CLA were intensified with the help of the community. Volunteers organized search parties, combing through local parks and along the riverbanks, places CLA was known to frequent for inspiration. Social media campaigns spread her picture far and wide, reaching thousands of eyes across the country. Yet, as days turned into weeks with no sign of CLA, hope began to wane and the mystery deepened, setting the stage for an investigation that would reveal chilling details. As the investigation into CLA Holland's disappearance deepened, detectives faced numerous challenges. The lack of immediate clues and the broad spectrum of places to search meant progress was slow and painstaking. However, a breakthrough came when surveillance footage from the night of her disappearance was finally accessed, showing CLA leaving the exhibition alone, but not making it to her car. The footage sparked a slew of theories and leads. Investigators focused on piecing together her route, interviewing anyone who might have seen something that evening. It was a meticulous process requiring the cooperation of local businesses to access additional CCTV footage. Each frame was scrutinized, each potential witness interviewed, yet the trail seemed cold until an unexpected clue surfaced. A local shopkeeper reported a suspicious figure lurking around the back alley of the exhibition hall that night. Further investigation revealed that this person was known to the police for minor offenses and was brought in for questioning. This lead, while initially promising, ultimately dead-ended. shifting the focus back to CLA's inner circle. It was within this circle that the key to unraveling the mystery lay hidden, as attention turned to those closest to her, revealing tensions and secrets that had been simmering beneath the surface. As the scope of the investigation narrowed, focus shifted dramatically towards someone within CLA's own circle of acquaintances. This individual, a former partner known as Derek Ventham, quickly became the prime suspect. His past, marred by allegations of domestic disturbances and erratic behavior, painted a troubling picture. Police scrutiny revealed that Derek had been seen arguing heatedly with CLA at the exhibition, a detail previously overlooked. Derek's own accounts of his movements on the night of CLA's disappearance were inconsistent and evasive. When pressed, his alibi crumbled. Witnesses contradicted his story of staying home alone. This discrepancy led to a search warrant for his residence, where investigators hoped to find any evidence linking him to CLA's sudden vanishing. During the search, detectives uncovered a series of incriminating items, CLA's personal belongings, which Derek should not have had, and a diary with entries that hinted at a deepening rift between them. These discoveries shifted the narrative from a simple missing person case to a possible abduction or worse. As the evidence mounted, the pressure on Derek increased, culminating in a dramatic turn of events that would blow the case wide open. The mounting evidence and relentless pressure finally led to a dramatic confession from Derek Ventham. In a tense interrogation room, faced with the overwhelming evidence collected from his home, Derek broke down and admitted to his involvement in CLA's disappearance. His confession was a chilling account of a confrontation gone tragically wrong, a moment of anger that escalated beyond control. Derek described the events of that fateful evening in harrowing detail. He spoke of an argument that started at the exhibition, rooted in jealousy and inflamed by accusations of betrayal. The dispute, he confessed, continued in a secluded area where he had hoped to reconcile, but emotions ran high, and his actions became irrevocable. CLA's fate was sealed by what Derek claimed was an impulsive act of violence. The confession was a pivotal moment in the investigation, shifting the focus from searching for CLA to seeking justice for her. It brought a somber resolution to the case, providing the police and CLA's family with the answers they had desperately sought, albeit answers that were hard to accept. The community, which had rallied for CLA's safe return, now had to come to terms with the tragic reality of her ending. Section 7. The trial justice sought. The trial of Derek Ventham was a highly publicized affair, drawing attention not only from the local community, but also from national media. It was set against a backdrop of heightened awareness about domestic violence, with CLA's case spotlighting the dangers lurking behind closed doors. The courtroom was packed daily, a testament to the collective grief and anger felt by those who had hoped for a different outcome for CLA. Prosecutors presented a strong case, bolstered by Derek's confession and the physical evidence gathered from his home. The diary entries, personal items belonging to CLA, and CCTV footage formed a narrative of control, jealousy, and ultimately violence. The defense argued for leniency, citing Derek's immediate cooperation and emotional turmoil as factors for consideration. Throughout the trial, the presence of CLA's family was poignant. They sat through each day, bearing witness to the painful details of her last moments. The impact of their loss was profound, resonating with every witness testimony and piece of evidence presented. As the trial progressed, it became more than just a legal proceeding. It was a public reckoning with the issues of domestic violence and the need for greater awareness and preventive measures. Section 8. The verdict and its aftermath. After days of testimonies and deliberations, the jury reached a verdict. Derek Ventham was found guilty of manslaughter, a decision that brought a complex mix of relief and sorrow to those involved. The verdict was seen as a measure of justice for CLA, although it could never undo the tragedy of her loss. Sentencing followed, with Derek receiving a substantial term that reflected the severity of his actions and the loss of a young life full of potential. The aftermath of the trial saw a renewed focus on the issues of domestic violence within the community. CLA's story became a catalyst for change, inspiring local authorities and organizations to enhance their support systems for those trapped in abusive relationships. Educational programs were implemented and resources were expanded, aiming to prevent similar tragedies from occurring. CLA's family, though devastated, channeled their grief into advocacy, working alongside community groups to raise awareness about the signs of domestic abuse. The support from the community was overwhelming, with many stepping forward to share their own stories, driven by CLA's narrative to seek help. The tragedy of CLA Holland's life and death thus left behind a legacy of awareness and change, a beacon of hope for others facing similar dark paths. Section 9. Impact on awareness of domestic violence. The tragic end of CLA Holland's life had a profound impact on the community's perception of domestic violence and substance abuse. The case highlighted the often hidden struggles within seemingly normal relationships, bringing to light the importance of recognizing and addressing early warning signs. Community leaders, spurred by the public outcry and the painful lessons learned from CLA's story, took significant steps to bolster support for victims. Educational initiatives aimed at teaching young people about healthy relationships were introduced in schools and universities across Bristol. Workshops and seminars became frequent, led by experts and survivors, each sharing knowledge and personal stories to educate and empower others. These programs were not just preventative but also supportive, providing a safe space for victims to seek help and share their experiences. Moreover, CLA's story inspired legislative changes aimed at strengthening protections for domestic violence victims. Local politicians, moved by the public's response and the clear need for better resources, advocated for more stringent laws and better funding for domestic violence shelters and hotlines. The visibility of CLA's case brought undeniable pressure to bear on policymakers, leading to faster and more comprehensive responses to similar cases in the future. Section 10. Conclusion, reflections, and wider lessons. The chilling tale of CLA Holland is a stark reminder of the shadows that can lurk behind the facade of everyday life. Her story, rooted in the vibrant yet complex tapestry of Bristol, serves as a powerful lesson on the importance of community awareness and the impact of domestic violence. It underscores the need for vigilance and compassion in addressing these deeply personal yet widely impactful issues. Reflecting on CLA's life and tragic demise, we are reminded of the potential every community holds to foster safety and support for its members. The collective response to her case, from the initial search to the trial and subsequent advocacy, highlights the power of community action in the face of tragedy. It is a call to all of us to not only be aware of the struggles of those around us, but also to actively engage in creating environments where such tragedies are less likely to occur. In conclusion, while the story of CLA Holland is filled with sorrow, it also brings with it a message of hope and action. Her legacy, though born from loss, has catalyzed significant changes that continue to resonate within Bristol and beyond. It is a poignant reminder of the impact one life can have, not only in its presence, but also in its absence, shaping community consciousness and legislative actions towards a safer, more aware society.